Cold Wans, the revival. And that is Cold Wans back, ladies and gentlemen. The revival of Cold Wans is here. And today's guest is going to be Ben Gray, a returning and great guest that did not get copyright strike the last time it was on. Are you excited to get the revival back on?
No, but aye.
It's always ice bath,
I'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be sound, mate. It's good to have him back on. It's an honour as well because obviously I've not done this in a while. So coming back with someone I know and I feel comfortable about is going to make me even more performance-based than usual. So, are you ready to take the plunge, mate? Because I know you've already done an ice bath.
May as well get it done with it.
Well, that's it then. Let's go. As soon as you're ready, my boy.
Just get it done with that.
Let's go. Fucking hell, man. It's been a while for me too.
It's been a while. It's cold, mate.
Has no right being this cold considering how warm it is outside there. Well,
That was colder last time.
well, I'm going to take the attention away from you right now because today, usually I would talk about like a topic with you or something that I think would really well relate to you. But I think for me, I want to talk about something that's going to relate to me today. And it's the whole fact of me kind of getting comfortable and falling off. Because actually, the last time we done this ice bath, we spoke a lot about comfortability and like all that kind of stuff. So like, for me, it's been, guess when our last Cold Wans was?
A long time ago.
August the 25th last year.
What?
So it's been 9 months
Didn't
basically
think it was that
since.
long ago, like.
Aye. That's ridiculous.
Nuts.
That's how long it's been. And I think the last time I recorded Cold Wans was like a month or two after that. So it's
That's
been like
nuts.
7 months out the tub with my boys.
That's crazy.
And that is crazy. And I think it's hard to teach people that comfortability is something that really does happen to people. Because like, considering the way last year went for me, you wouldn't expect it.
Nah.
I was really fucking down and grinding on it. And the last maybe 2 months, completely fell off.
Yeah.
No recording anything, no posting nothing, just falling off. And I think it's important to realise that even the most dedicated people, they fall off.
Yeah, 100%.
And like, I think everyone, maybe not in the same kind of respect as me, like social media and stuff obviously was my main thing, but for a lot of people they fall off of jobs, they fall off of other things, and it's important to realise that it's actually okay for that to happen.
Yeah. You're leaking it.
Oh, I'm leaking. Oh well, better make it fast then, man. Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh no. Oh well. Okay, you can use mine then, that's fine.
I will. I don't know, man. I think it's so important to talk about these things, like, and make it sort of normal, because I know there's a lot of people sitting around in life thinking that they've fallen so far off and they're going to be able to fix nothing from it. And it's a shame, because you should know that it's actually okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Happens to everybody, you know. The best of folk fall off and just have like a really bad spell or a really quiet spell. Like, you've done this for a year straight. That's ballsy.
Aye,
like,
now I'm sitting after not doing them for a week, man.
You've got every right to not do this for as long as you do. Like, do not blame you at all. But, nah, it happens to everybody, you know what I mean? So,
man, this water is actually colder than it was the
colder
last
than
time.
last time. Last time it was like 2 degrees outside. It's a nice warm day, and it's colder. I told you should have put it in the sun.
Why is it sooking me? Oh, and you're in the ice bath, clearly, man.
Oh, mate.
Well, this is nice and quick. We don't want to make it too fucking lengthy in that now. So I've changed it to like 3 minutes roughly. I forgot to put the timer on. Shit happens. So we're going to call it 20 more settings. Just bathing in the shit. And then once we get out of here, we'll get to the good bit. The bit where we get to sit down and
nice and warm.
And actually talk about things that are important.
I was buzzing for this day, but I forgot how cold it is. This is colder. I don't know if it's just because it's a nice day and you didn't feel it. And then as soon as you get the cold, it's even worse, mate.
No,
but
this water feels really cold.
Nah, this feels so much colder. Like, you've done me over here. Why are you soaking and squatting? What's going on for?
My ice bath's had the fucking at the end of its days.
I was going to say,
but anyway,
this one next.
Let's just get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
And let's get into the post-plunge warm-up. So with Ben being a returning guest, we're going to focus less on his whole past. So like with every other episode previous to the revival, we really focused on building up a story of the person, kind of finding out what they went through to get to where they are and what their like whole goals were later down in the future. But I think with Ben and with this whole new revival thing, I think what I'm going to try and do is, obviously if they're completely new to Cold Wans, we're going to build a story. We're going to find out things about these people. But with Ben being already the episode up, if you ever want to go watch it and go and you ever want to go work out what he done in his past and where he came from, It's all there, and there'll be links to that video. So there's no point you building rebuilding your past for Cold Wands Revival. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna find out what's changed. So you're gonna you giggle, man, over there. Oh, it's so hard to get into the professional head after being out of this for so long. So it is going to be a bit fucking goofy to start with. But once we're locked in, it'll be better. So I'm okay with making mistakes. I'm not going to fucking edit them all out, because what's the point? This is real. And things happen. It's been a while. It's been like 7 months.
It's like I go, mate.
Exactly. We return with a... It'll be funnier. And that's what as well. You need to have the lightheartedness inside these videos. So, what I am going to ask you to start with, though, is I remember back when we were first talking, back when you did build your past to me, and you kind of told me what you went through and all that. I remember you telling me how at that current moment in time you were really struggling with work and like kind of keeping a consistent job in that. And I think that would be something really good to dig back into, because there's probably a lot of people, even more so than when we last spoke, that are really struggling with work. Because I think work right now as well is such a struggle, because there's so little of it, but there's so many people for it.
Yeah.
So what's happening in your life when it comes to work now? You?
So obviously we went through everything that had happened with my work previous to this, and struggling to keep a job or even find a job in general. After that video, that path kind of continued for another couple of months. I then left Innerflate, which was where I was still at when we last done this. Ended up going to GXO warehouse, and that was just, I don't know what words to use to describe how bad that was. Wasn't I don't know how to explain it. Like, I pretty much just got thrown into it. We went for a training week, which barely wasn't any training. It's all just paperwork stuff and watching slides and all this stuff. It was just pointless. And then when we went down and actually started the shifts and stuff, it was like, right, just go and do that, because you've worked in a warehouse before, kind of thing. So they just expect you to know what you're like doing straight away, which was some of it I did, but like they had 2 separate sections in there, and one was just picking the fresh stuff like the fruit and veg, and then the other stuff was all your ambient stuff like all your juice and milk and all that. And it just went round in a big circle round the whole building block. And I didn't have a clue what was going on. I just kind of got paired up with somebody and thrown in. And they didn't train me. They're not there to train me. Like, that's the manager's job or whatever. But I just got thrown in the deep end and expected to do it all, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up the speed. I was fine in the fresh stuff, because like I'd done that at DHL. Obviously, it's like the same thing. But just the way they picked stuff and the way they wanted stuff picked and how they ran shifts and stuff, it just didn't really work for me. And then I actually hurt my back at work.
I remember this, because I remember picking you up one day and you were saying that your back was fucked.
Aye, my back was fucked. So that kept me out of work for about a week, and then I went back, and I was through the agency for this place. So the agency worker that I had, he was just constantly at me, wanting me back at work and stuff. And then I'd go back to work, and because I wasn't fit to work, I wasn't able to do enough. So they were just sending me home again. And then I was having 2 days off, and then trying to go back to work, and then they were sending me home again. So it was just a reoccurring thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it just got to the point where I was like, right, this just isn't working. And then I spoke to the agency worker, and he was like, we're just going to put you off. Like, you won't actually be working here. I was pretty much sacked from there, because I'd sustained an injury through work because I wasn't trained properly. So I didn't really agree with that. It's like, I get him in probation, but it's still kind of like wrongful dismissal or whatever it's called. Because they just didn't care. They weren't bothered. They just wanted folk in to do work and then
just
go
another
home.
number at the end of the day, innit?
It was just like, honestly, it was like slave labour in that place. It was horrible.
I think I actually know quite a lot of folk that went into the warehouse sort of job, even from like McDonald's. They've jumped from there to go and do something that they think's going to be easier. And in a lot of cases, well, in fact, in every case, it's actually not.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of hard work, and they expect so much from you for so little. Like, it's at the end of the day, you're not getting paid that much more than like what someone that's getting the minimum wages.
Yeah.
And you're working off hours. You're working very isolated, and it's I can imagine it's not great, to be honest.
It was like, if you were on the picking line, like round the whole outside, you got given a set of stores. So say you were store like 25 to 32 or something. So you've got like 7 stores worth of stuff to get done. And the pallets just kind of go round in a big circle, and you've got to take your stuff off, put the sticker on it, put it in the cage. But the person before you could only have like 1,000 things to pick in that day. You could have like 2,500.
Mm.
And if folk are taking the absolute piss to bring stuff round, you're there all day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you finish your stores, then you can get sent home early, whatever. But if you're like got one of the biggest stores, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Because the folk just didn't care.
Yeah.
They just done what they want, and it just didn't work for me at all.
No.
It was nothing like what I expected it, and it just didn't work. So they let me go, and then they were like, when your back's back fit, if you contact the agency, then we'll try and get you in somewhere else. But at that point, I was like, nah, like, I'm not even gonna bother.
You've been mistreated once, you didn't want to get mistreated a second time.
Especially with them,
Aye.
So left that. I was probably there until like mid-November. I was only there for about a month and a half. I was jobless until I think must have been about the end of January, because I've only worked. This is now my 2nd month at Lidl in Rolling Broxbourne. I got a job in there, and so far so good. Apart from the shifts, I've just kind of been like thrown on whatever shifts they want. Told that they asked at the interview like, what are you not able to do? And I told them Sunday mornings and Thursday nights because of football.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anything else than that, I can do.
Yeah.
And ever since I've started, I've had nothing but 6 o'clock starts in the morning, and it's awful because of the buses in the morning as well. The buses at like the first bus is like 26 in the morning, so I'm late for work. Yeah, so I'm late for work most days, and they know it's because of the buses, but they still decide to put me on. I've spoke to both managers, because the manager that was there when I started has now left, and it's a new one. I've told both that I can't do them every day. I don't mind doing a 6 o'clock start, whatever, but I just want like a variety of different shifts. And then even since I've spoke to him, he's put out a further 3 rotas. I'm on 6 AM starts again. But one of the weeks he's put me on 5:30 starts. I'm like, I get up at 5 because my bus is at 20 to 6. How would you expect me in at 5:30 and the bus is after that? You know what I mean? Like, I've told you I can't do that. It's just like a piss take. So that's a bit of an issue. So if that doesn't get changed, I'll need to get that. I'll need to sort something. But my probation's on until the end of April. But so far it's alright. Don't really mind it.
Is that like more like working the floor kind of customer care?
Yeah, so I'm on the tills. I'm doing like stacking the shelves and stuff. So obviously we open at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm in at 6, so we're doing all the stacking stuff. But before that, but like, we're so short staffed at the minute as well, because like folk are taking holidays. We've got somebody on jury duty, and they just don't do the rotas very well in that place at all.
Maybe you just carry bad juju about with you. Everywhere you
mate,
go,
every job
falls apart.
Ever since I've left DHL, every job I've had has been a nightmare. Honestly, I'm due to just stop. Just like just give up.
Benefits his time. Benefits.
Get on the dole.
Aye, to be fair, you've been like still fucking going hard with the football though. Like
I've never stopped with that. To be fair, I wasn't at. I'm at a new team now. When I was last year, I was at Inverkeithing.
No.
Or I would have been just joining Inverkeithing probably. And I'm now playing through an Ots gangs. That was a bit of a struggle for the first couple of weeks. Wasn't getting any game time. I was getting 10 minutes, and then expecting me to go on and do all this because I'm like performing well in training every week. But I had a word with the coaches and stuff, and 2 weeks ago I didn't get played at all. I was on the bench, didn't get played at all. I was meant to go on. He told me 4 times to go and get ready, didn't play me at all. So I walked away and I told him I wasn't going back, and then I spoke to the coach the next day, and I went to training on the Thursday, and they were like, right, we're playing this on Sunday, you're starting. So we're going to do training tonight, we're just going to play a game, and we're going to do the starting 11 versus everybody else that's here. And the starting 11 worked really well. I played really well at training, and then it came to Sunday and I got a start. And I played 70 minutes, and then some wee arsehole decided to elbow me in the ribs. I've still got like sore ribs now. And it's horrible. I had to come off, but I would have got the full game, but by the looks of it, that's me like kind of in the team now. But it's just awful when you go to a new team, you don't expect starts. Like, I was never going to expect a start or a lot of game time, but 10 minutes was rough. Like, Mrs was checking me through every week. She drives me through to training, she drives me through to games. So it's a waste of her time and a waste of my time. Like, she's wasting her fuel and her time to coming through for me to get 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
If that.
Aye, if that sometimes. And when I came up, there was one game I came on, I got about 25 minutes or something. And I played really well. And then the next game I just got like 5 minutes at the end. I'm like, well, what's the point in this? Why am I bothering to be here?
Football's one of those things, I guess. It's one of those.
As long as you don't give up, because obviously I know a lot of folk that if they'd had that, they'd just give up. They'd just left the team and then no bother playing. But just keep it training. I play well every week at training. The coach sees that and he's like, I want you to do that on a Sunday. And then obviously I got the game on Sunday, played really well, and then
keep showing up, don't give up. That's what the memo
much.
is here. Because I remember quite vividly the last time we spoke as well. You spoke about how like the whole when you were younger you wanted to go for pro and then you hit a certain age and everything kind of plateaued and then you kind of tried to bounce back, but then didn't take your opportunities when you got to a certain age again because you just didn't think it was the right thing for you. And so like. I mean, I know you're getting on now. You're a bit older, so it's like I understand. Well, it's true because I understand, especially in football, they want to take you as young as possible. I mean, it's the same with a lot of things, isn't it? But
there's still a chance you've been picked up by somebody very good at this age. But you're looking like most people get picked up between 14 to like 18, mostly. They're in academies or they're playing pro youth at like the age of 18 and stuff, and that's when you want to get picked up. Now, I'm 23. I'm old as shit.
Hey, you're not that old, man.
It's like obviously when I'm playing Sunday League, it's all older folk. It's all like fully grown men. It's like I'm the youngest in my team, and that's saying something when I'm 23. You don't feel like you're that young when you're playing with full grown men and stuff. It's like you don't even notice it, but there's still very good teams like at amateur level or junior level that'll take you. So as much as you're not going to make it to that top level, you're still going to be playing good high football. So
well, that's it. If it's a passion, then that's alright.
Nah.
It's a shame that you could have made it a career, and there's, I mean, like you said, there's still possibilities.
Yeah.
You just need to keep going, keep fucking showing up, and that's the most important thing, man. If you have passion, you keep showing up, and you keep kind of, even when it gets shit, you don't care. You just keep going through the grit.
Take it on the chin and you move on. You know what I mean? Like.
Because to be fair, like even with my Muay Thai, I fell off it for a bit, and it wasn't because, it wasn't even comfortability. To be fair, it was like. There's something about Muay Thai that you love it for so long, and then for like a couple of weeks you just don't want to go. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if you get that with football as well sometimes. Like
you do eventually. I think it's more like with football. It's like if you feel like you're not playing well, so like if you have like a rough couple of weeks of training or games, and you're just like, oh right, you know what? See next week I can't be out playing. I'm not gonna bother. But then you could end up going to that game and it's like you played really well. And it's just you've just had a rough patch. Everybody has a rough patch at some point. I've had mine. It's like it is awful. And you feel that you can't be bothered going. But get up and go.
Make up every excuse to not go, man. But the thing is, I realised like after I started kind of picking up the pieces and not going to Muay Thai, because I think it was probably just after I stopped doing stuff on social media, so it maybe was a bit of like comfortability at the same time, so it was kind of maybe both hand in hand kind of grabbing me. But I remember then when I went back, like I kept saying on Mondays that I didn't want to go because like I didn't like how the coaches had changed and stuff. I was just making excuses more or less. There was nothing wrong with the coach. Like Kirsty does coaching on the Monday now. She's fucking brilliant. She gets you going. She makes sure you're like learning new techniques and stuff. And the thing I've realised is putting myself through that pain in the morning like on a Monday sets up my whole week. Like that's me sorted. Like I don't need to worry about the rest of the week because my head's already in the game. So that's why like on Mondays I'll go 2 sessions now, guaranteed. Wednesdays 2 sessions as long as I've not got anything on in the morning. And even sticking to those 4 sessions, I do try to go more. But I'm busy and usually I'm working on the weekends, so it's like it doesn't always go hand in hand together. But having that one Monday session sets you up for the whole week. And that's the thing, you just need to fucking sit through the grit and get on with it, because life's not going to get better if you don't give it a chance to be.
Nah. It's like with football as well, it's like obviously I've had like all these rough weeks that I'm getting 10 minutes every week and stuff, and then it gets to like a Thursday and I'm like, there's just no point in going. But then I'll go and I'll play well and they're like, right, take that on Sunday, but then they're not giving me the game time on Sunday. But I still look forward to it every week. It's like, I'm like, oh, well, I got to start this week. I played well in training, like this and that. And then it's just kind of like, it's like a kick in the teeth when you don't get that game. But knowing that I was meant to be getting a start on Sunday, just kind of like, it drives you forward to keep going and play better.
It's like the wee crumbs they leave on the trail for you to like get better.
You start picking it up, and obviously my fitness isn't great now because I've not done anything to do with fitness in months. So going to training every week and playing every week is just going to build up my fitness, and as soon as my fitness is back, I'll be so much better.
It's good being able to sit down and you being like dead honest about everything as well, because like the amount of folk that would definitely turn and be like, oh, I've been at football and I've been doing all this fitness stuff and I'm in really good shape.
Yeah.
Because I'm never going to see you at football.
Aye.
It's not something I'm going to see. So you could literally lie to me and I'd believe you anyway.
Nah.
But like being honest is like, that's another thing that like a lot of folk don't really understand is how valuable honesty is. Like it's all good and said like sitting there white lies once in a blue moon, like just being like, oh, I do this, I do that. Like I find this a lot actually with folk that like post fitness stuff on their Instagrams and stuff. Like, I've got a couple of folk that I know, they're like, oh, my eating habit's really, really good. It's really, really good. White lies, because it's like, anything you post, great, I can believe that, but what's happening behind the scenes? Because, like, there's no way there's people eating fucking the best type of nutrition every single day, 3 times a day.
Yeah, there's not a chance.
You know what I mean? Like,
no danger.
Even, like, the best of the best, like, if you even go to David Goggins, man, right, and I'm not fucking saying that he's not this motivational guy and he's not really, like, gritty and he's not really dedicated, there's no way he doesn't have an off day.
Oh,
every
no,
human
no
does. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to be.
Yeah.
That's why I like don't try and post anything that's not me, if that makes sense. Like, I'm gonna start posting like nutrition stuff and that, but it's gonna be based on like how you can make food better, not like based on, oh, this is why I eat every day, because it's true. It's not true. I snack. I do things that I shouldn't be doing, and I fucking work out a lot. And that's honesty. But I could tell you my eating is not perfect.
No.
It's not even close to perfect. Like, if it's coming to like takeaways and stuff, yeah, I'm really good for not having takeaways. But when it comes to like my house, sometimes I'll eat really, really well. Sometimes I'll snack. Sometimes I'll eat shit. It just doesn't. There's no consistency fully in my diet. But I'm happy to be honest about that, because what's the point of lying? I mean,
I've quite possibly got the worst diet ever at the moment. I just because of these like 6 o'clock starts, I'm not eating before work.
Yeah.
So I wake up and I'm doing my 6 o'clock start and I'm starving.
Yeah.
And it'll come to like, say I'm in like a 6 till 12 or something. I'll get my break at like 9:30, 10. I'm eating a lunch meal at 9:30, 10. So I'm having like a meal deal or pot noodles or like just snacking on shite. And it's like, it gets to like 12 o'clock and then I'll go to the bakery and I'll grab myself like a baguette, go and get crisps and stuff, go home and make another lunch. And that's 2 meals in the space of 3 hours. And it's like, then I don't eat the rest of the day. And I complain because I'm hungry in the morning, or I'll go and make like cocoa noodles or just make some sort of pishy scran at 10 o'clock at night before I go to my bed. And then
you wake up feeling worse.
You feel tired in the morning because you've just eaten, and my diet is non-existent. And then after every Sunday, sorry to call you out in this, but me and the missus just go for a McDonald's every Sunday after the game. It's just notorious every week because she's working after my game, so it's just like straight to McDonald's and then she goes to work. But I'll complain about my fitness, but I'm not exactly doing anything to help it. So once I start eating better and sleeping better, sleeping routines as well, that's one of the worst things for me. I'm sleeping like 3 hours.
I think sleeping's such a hard thing to get a hold of though, especially with like your scheduling and that going all over the place. Like, see if you drove. And I know like driving isn't like a big massive thing in everyone's life, but like see if you drove, your work would be so much easier
100%
to accommodate for. And I think as a workplace or like as a management, your team should be like looking into that and being like, right, you can't make it this time, let's change it to like an 8 o'clock start even. That gives you the time to get up
8
and get
o'clock's
yourself
perfectly
sorted.
fine, because I can get up at 6 o'clock, I can even have something to eat at 6 o'clock when I get up. But like, I'll be able to get there on time because there's like 3-4 buses within that 4 hours. You know what I mean? I'm getting up at 5 o'clock, there's one bus before 6 o'clock, and it makes me late every day. It takes 25 minutes on a good day to get to there. And then they're complaining because I'm late. I'm like, but I'm telling you I'm going to be late every day. Surely you are seeing that I'm going to be late. I've told you I can't do all the 6 o'clock starts, and you just still put me in for them. So I'm just going to take it on the chin. I've told them multiple times, but because I'm on probation, I didn't really want to say too much, you know what I mean?
If it's working for you didn't want to fucking cause any hassle.
It's just, I kind of need a job. I'm going to Benidorm in May, so I need a job to pay this holiday. You know what I mean?
Is Benidorm a leisure or is it like a fucking get on it holiday? That's what I'm asking.
Both. Both. Nah, to be fair, we went last year. We only went for 5 days, and we only went out once, and that was because it was the old firm, so we were down in the strip anyway. But I think this year we're going back to the same hotel, but we're away for a week, so we'll maybe go out a couple of times this time. Because it is really good when you go out, and it says an hour's walk away from a hotel, but it's not, because we walked back pissed the last time, absolutely steaming, just scranning stuff for a takeaway, and it was brilliant. But nah, it would be good. It's just like, I don't mind that I could go away for a week and sit by the pool and sit and have drinks by the pool for a week, or I could go away and go out in the piss for a week.
Aye.
It does not bother me. I could go and do either, and I'd be happy because I got a week away. You know what I mean?
Doesn't it? Aye. Both sides of the story. It's all sounding
Perfectly fine with both.
Fair enough, but how is it in Benidorm? Because I remember back in the day, yous were like, oh, let's go on holiday, let's holiday, and I was like, oh, where we going? Like, he's like, Benidorm. I was like, Benidorm? What? Benidorm? All I think about when I think about Benidorm is that fucking show and like all the old grannies and that. But I don't believe that's what it's like. I get told by a lot of people Benidorm's a good place.
Nah, Benidorm's quality. See, when you go, it's like folk make it out as if it's like, oh, this bad place and like all these bad things happen, and you see it on social media, folk getting like mugged or random stops by the police, and just because you're like not from there.
Aye.
But I've been there 3 times now. Not once have I had an issue.
No.
Well, apart from the first year when my wallet got stolen, but that's different. That was completely different.
Didn't get mugged.
No, didn't get mugged. That didn't happen. But we'll not act like that happened.
Edited out.
Yes. But nah, it's like you see a lot of like couples going away, like older couples in their 50s and 60s. They're just there. They're just going away for like this holiday. It's just like because the strip's so quiet during the day. Like everything's shut. Like the main strip's shut 'cause it's all just clubs. All the pubs and like bars and stuff like that are all open. You'll get like all the guys in there for the football, and it's just, and there's never any issues. It's always like, just at a good vibe. So, like, I don't know what words to use to describe it. Like, it's just, it's like heaven on earth for me. It's my heaven on earth, mate.
I was gonna say that's big shots. Heaven on earth.
Heaven on earth for me, mate.
Nah, to be fair, I've been considering it. Like
everybody's got that one holiday that they always want to do.
Aye.
I feel like Benidorm's just mine. Like,
well, your heaven on earth can be Benidorm, and my hell on earth can be Turkey. I'm going away there for 11 days in fucking July, man, with Charlene, and I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Why?
Because Turkey's just such a fucking dodgy place, man.
Then why are you going?
Oh, right. Because they asked me, I was like, aye. I'm not fussed about
Are you going with them?
Aye. Yeah.
Ah, right, aye.
Aye, their family and that are gone, so I was like, aye, I'll show face, like, fuck it. But I was like, Turkey's such a dodgy place, man.
So bad.
Aye.
We were looking at Greece for May instead,
Aye.
and we found like really good places and like good deals. Oh, I've just scurried that.
Sorry.
Sorry, I've still gone. I've not tried to kill them yet. Nah, we looked at Greece and we found a really good deal for a hotel and stuff in a week in Greece. But then we found one for Benidorm that was like £80 cheaper with the bags and stuff added on. So like a week in Benidorm where I know everything and everywhere to go. We went last year and it was I felt like a bloody tourist guide. Because I was like, alright, everything's this way, everything's that way. I just know where everything is.
Oh, that's
and
crazy, man.
it's just like, now obviously she's been as well. We know where everything is, we know what's good, we know where to avoid, and we know what we want to go and do and stuff. So it's like, it'll be a lot better this time than it was last year, but last year was good.
Has it got a lot of touristy stuff to do? Like,
there's stuff you can go and do, like you can go and do jet skis and all that
Sticky
kind of
Vicky, man.
Oh,
You just ate your words, man.
Molly, I'm sorry, but I don't think I could take you to see fucking Sticky Vicky, man. It's
You're unlucky, man. You're unlucky.
Oh, did I've listen. It's an experience you need to experience. It's it was something. To be fair, I seen it the first year I went, and that was it. Twice.
Every time I went.
I've not seen that Star Wars show. I refuse to see that. Absolutely not. I don't think I could see that. I don't think I could handle watching that. That's way too much.
Oh,
but
I thought Sticky Vicky died or something. I thought it was
well, it's not actually her. She was in hospital when I went that year, and it was her daughter that done it.
Oh.
Who's like also like 65. Sticky Vicky's at 80 or something, surely. But it was
that's fucking wild.
It's a horrible experience, but see when you're steaming drunk you can't feel your legs.
Sticky Vicky's a man.
Sticky Vicky's the place to go.
Oh.
It's on like 3 times every night as well. It's brilliant. So if you miss it the first time you can go and see it an hour later.
So sticky, man. She's probably so sticky, man. That's fucking crazy.
It's funny, but
why just digress to Sticky Vicky chat, man? Fuck. Honestly. Oh, fucking hell. I love cold ones. I love just sitting down and talking shit. Oh, man.
Oh, mate.
You can't win.
But nah, that'll be really good.
I think it's really important, like, another thing that's really important for people is, And I know it's difficult to say this and kind of be like, everyone has the accessibility to going on holidays, but holidays are so fucking important.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, even like going like, I know you can like, what is it, like Canary Islands and stuff like that, you can sometimes during like the colder seasons get them for like a couple £100. Just get yourself out of this place, man. Like most
100%.
places even like
Just go
out season
anywhere.
are still warmer than here. Like,
Like next month, like Mrs. Mum is away to Paris for 3 months. She's going to stay in Paris 3 months.
actually 3
Yeah.
months. Oh, I didn't
Not
know
3
that.
months. What am I on about? 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say. I was
No,
like,
I
what?
said 3 months.
Say,
3
long
weeks.
distance
Aye,
relationship.
I know. Well, no, she's going over to visit, so she's gone away for a couple of days to visit as well, and it's just like I got invited to go, but Paris isn't really my scene.
Oh,
I really don't. I've got no interest in Paris at all.
No.
So if you're French and watching this,
Sorry, mate.
sorry, not sorry though. But nah, like, I'm not really bothered about it. She can go away and she can. Like our brother and his girlfriend are going as well.
Aye.
So it's like they're just going away as like a family like weekend and stuff.
Aye.
Because our mum's there for 3 weeks.
Just let them do their thing,
So-
then.
You could go do you. I'm working, so I'm not really bothered. It's like at least I'll be kept busy. But and then we're away in May, and then we'll probably look to trying to get away like October time again. But I really don't mind where we go as long as I'm away. I don't care. I don't think there's been a year that I haven't had a holiday since I was like 10.
Aye.
So good.
Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy living in this country. Like, it's pretty easy going in most cases. Like,
Aye.
but
Just gets boring.
yeah, boring and like the weather does not help anything as well most of the time. Like, I know summers here actually are starting to get really good. Like, usually
Yeah.
the summer's like proper summer now, but it's still like every other month up until that like 2 months
Can
you
be
get
like
a goodness.
16 degrees one day and then 2 the next.
Yeah, literally. It's not
like-
consistent. That's the problem.
Nah.
That. Like,
Don't get a proper summer anymore.
and like most of the time as well, you wake up and the one day it's nice, you're working, you're like,
Yeah.
it's time.
Yeah.
You get out of work,
Everybody's
it's fucking
away
shite.
out, going to Porty Beach drinking, and you're stuck in work
It happens every time, every year.
every single year. Or everybody's gone to the beer gardens. You're working. The only person that's working, you know you can't phone a sickie because everybody knows that you're there.
How they like, and they all know that your pals are out too, so
Aye.
you can't. Oh, it's fucked, man. But I don't know, man. I'm hoping that like this. I say this every year. I'm hoping this summer's like decent. I mean, today looked like good weather, but that ice water was not fucking.
Oh.
Not any. Here's what it is. You're gonna cut out for like 1 second, but then
Aye.
you'll be back, so it's alright. Oh, see, this is the thing.
This
though.
is me this time though.
Aye. But you've also upgraded. That wouldn't have happened if I'd had the fucking phone on because I wouldn't have saw it. So it's
No,
like,
but then last time your phone just stopped all the time. You were missing for 5 minutes.
So that's what I mean though. Like having this better setup makes a fucking massive difference. Because I can see myself here, you can see yourself there. If anything goes wrong, we can fix it.
Exactly.
Whereas last time we caught it 5 minutes later, and we're like, alright.
Well then.
I'll just put a fucking freeze frame on my face like this for like fucking 5 minutes. So fucking shit, man.
bad, like.
To be fair, at least we've not had as many issues this time. Like, minus the start of the recording there, trying to work out what the fuck was
Mic
going
issues last time as well.
on. Aye, everything went wrong last time.
It couldn't have went much worse last time, to be fair. Even after you uploaded the bloody video, man.
Aye, so
That couldn't have got any worse.
maybe there's definitely something. You've got a curse or something about you, man.
I'm just bad luck, honestly.
Goes to work, everyone goes
Ruin
wrong.
everybody's lives just because mine is terrible. Get it up, bees. If I'm going down, I'm taking everybody I can with me.
As you should, man. As you should. Oh man. To be fair though, like, it's so crazy. Like the differences, even in like 6. Another thing as well, actually, this year's went fucking ridiculously fast. I want you to fucking back me on this one.
Yeah, I'll back you on that, 100%. I went through my first month of probation, it felt like 2 weeks. It's going so quick.
I mean, it's fucked. It was like the beginning of this month. I was like, right, I'm gonna get everyone sorted. I'm gonna start like, recording new things, try all this new content. 2 months later, I'm like, I've not recorded in 2 months. What's happened? Like, and it's not like the fact that I have no right to get that comfortable for 2 months and like it just disappears. But I can't even
All
remember
that hard
what
work
I've done.
for a year straight and then you're doing nothing.
Exactly, like it was. That's why I like, had to fucking do a video of me apologising. Everyone was like, "Why are you apologising?" Because I have to. I literally said.
I turned into a bum.
Literally, like there was the last video that I'd posted previous to that. I was like, "Guys, I'll be back in a week." 2 months later, he pops up and he thinks he can fucking just act like nothing happened. Aye, alright.
Aye.
It's crazy, but like I swear, like we're already in what, almost April.
Midway through March.
Aye, we're not even far off April. We're almost a third of the year already. A fourth of the year already complete.
Crazy.
My birthday's in 4 months.
I remember I was going out for my birthday last year, like a month after this.
Yeah.
It's mad.
I remember your birthday like it was yesterday. like,
Mate, what a night though. What a night.
it was a good night. Like,
What
to be
a night.
fair. That was like my first night out in fucking I think that was like my first night out the whole year. Well, minus Tenerife.
To be fair, you said that, you were like, mate, I'll definitely be there. Like, I have not been out in donkeys.
Because I think Tenerife was the last time I wasn't even out though, because I was on holiday. I don't count that as going out. You know what I mean? But I think your birthday was genuinely the first time I went properly out. It would have been my birthday first, because I was in July, and then it would have been yours. So I hadn't touched drink the whole year, except for when I actually went on holiday and when it was my birthday. To be fair, I've not even drank that much this year. Like, that one change last year has kind of moulded me into who I am now, which is actually really good, because it's changed me completely. I remember, like, the first time I met you and how fucking deep in drugs and alcohol and everything else I was. Like, I was so bad. Like, so bad.
That was bad that night, like.
Oh, I know. Because I remember when you...
couch.
No. Not a Nathan's couch night,
not
man.
Nathan's couch. No, again, we're not talking about that. That was petrifying last time.
Man, it's crazy. Like, I remember like everything that happened as well. Like, I remember all the fucking that night, and then I remember you coming to mind to do Cold Wans, thinking it was you that was coming, but I couldn't I could put a face to a name, but I couldn't like clarify if that was the face I was looking for. The minute you walk in the corner, I go, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go. I know you, and then that was it. Like, and then we're sound. You asked me to come to your birthday, and now we're pals. It's like this one thing digressed us into actually being pals, and now you're back again to then revive what was once.
Mate,
great.
Absolute honour to be the first one back on, too.
It's an honour for you to have, or for me to have you on, to be fair, because...
I was buzzing when I seen that message, to be fair. I was like, he better pick me, you fucking better pick me. I messaged, I was like, yes.
Nah, I think everyone's like, oh, you keep fucking up in the same folk on, but to be fair, your video got fucking really unlucky the last time, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you got absolutely
that had the
smacked.
potential to be a banger as well.
It did. It was a good video, like the chat we had, like talking about your past. You had a lot of things that a lot of people didn't talk about, or a lot of folk probably have maybe experienced but don't feel comfortable talking about. Because not a lot of people feel comfortable being like, oh, I've not had a job for this amount of time, or I've had struggles where I've had opportunity and I've fucking fucked to the side and stuff like that. You talked about everything, and that's something that a lot of people won't talk about because they don't feel comfortable opening up about it. They don't want to be honest about it, which is it's fair, and I totally understand it.
I'm not really bothered. I have nothing to hide. You know what I mean? Like, everybody goes through it. Like, if you're not confident to speak about it, that's you. Like, whatever. I'm laid back. I'm not bothered.
I mean, the thing is, you need to live your life and kind of. I think the best way to live life is always be honest, because you win in every scenario when you're honest with people.
100%, yeah.
And a lot of people trust you and want you in their life more if you are honest. I mean, at the same time though, you can be honest and without action, words don't mean shit. Like, I said this to a lot of people that I used to hang about with. I was like, it's all good and said, you saying things to me, like, the minute I started doing something about my life, you all disappeared. So you showed action but not showed words. So it's like, both have to come hand in hand. If you don't tell me that I'm doing well and you leave my life, you've now just done a double negative to me, and you've just showed me that you would really never give a fuck about me in the first place. Because, like, nobody does that. You don't see someone posting stuff on social media. The thing is as well, it's not like I was doing any harm. It's not like I was posting cringy videos where fucking I was just trying to look for
you're like an idiot.
I'm just trying to help people, you know what I mean? And that's the difference. Like, it was crazy to see how fastly my friendships digress. Like, every single person ticking them off the list. Like, where did they go? But I don't care. Like, I've realised that I've become a much better, much happier, much more like honourable, and so maybe I don't even know what else. Like, I just feel more selfless in a good way though, because I've also got a bird that now I could not be happier with. Like, I've got someone that I actually love, which is different because every relationship previous to that, it felt maybe not forced, because that sounds a bit shit.
It just didn't feel natural.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't feel like it came the way it should have, and it didn't feel like the person picked me for who I was. It was more just because I was there at that time. If that makes sense. Whereas Charlene came to me on TikTok of all places because of what I was posting. So she came because she liked what I'd done.
Yeah.
And that's like good. That shows to me that she's picked me for a reason, and not just because, oh, that's a guy that I would want to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas every relationship previous to that, I felt like it was like, he's a nice guy, fuck it, I'm gonna get with him. And then it just because
straight downhill.
Yeah, it doesn't work out the way you want it to work out. But if you wait for things, I guess the good things come, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also don't take everything for granted, and also don't take everything with a pinch of salt at the beginning, because no matter what happens in your life, there's always opportunity to fix things. You don't want to have to rebuild. So if
Yeah.
you can fix, and it's worth fixing, you should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, but I think it's very much socially driven nowadays. Another thing, actually, I'm going to bring this up as well. I was actually speaking to one of my pals not that long ago about this. The whole thing about, like, this is a lot relationship based for me, but letting other people get involved with your relationships is so crazy to me. I don't know if I actually think we spoke, I don't know if we spoke about this last time. I spoke about it with someone in Cold Wans because I remember it. And it's like, how many people do you know that the minute they have a problem with their, like, other half will go straight to their friends and ask for their opinion, but allow that opinion to be fully based on what they say? So, like, anything that happens after that point is based on what they say and not what your own opinion is of that scenario. You know what I mean? Like, the amount of people back in my old, like, friend group in my past that would be like, one thing would happen in a relationship, suddenly everyone would know, and as soon as everyone knows, you're fucked, because there's so many pushing pressures from, like, every edge to that person that's been speaking about it that they can't even physically make up a good scenario in their head to push back a bit.
Yeah, it's like one wrong thing, like, just changes everybody's, like, perception on something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you could go back and be like, you could come to me and be like, oh, Charlene said this, and then I just start, like, hating her for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, and you
It's a
don't
one-off
even know
thing.
as well.
That's a mistake. Whatever. Get on with it. Like, who cares? Like, people should know you're in a relationship, but they don't have to know everything about it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Like, if you have a fight, you have an argument, then maybe you can say to your best pal, oh, we've had a fight, whatever. But you didn't need to go into the details, like, oh, he said, she said, like, all that kind of stuff, because what's the point? You know what I mean?
Aye, sitting back and sometimes just trying to work it yourself is always the better way to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I totally understand as well why people do what they do, though, because, like, there's been times where I've been like, it would be good to hear, like, an outsider's perspective about
Yeah,
this.
that's fair enough. Yeah, 100%.
And I totally get that as well, but I think there's a time and a place, and there's also understanding that that outsider's perspective shouldn't change your perspective.
Yeah.
Because I think in a lot of cases, especially if it's your best friend, and depending on what they're like as a person, there'll be a lot of people that are going to push against the person you're with,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Because, like I was saying, a lot of the scenarios from previous friend groups, you find, even outside of relationships, just like friends, they'll come up, they'll say something, and you're like, right, okay, you've said this about them. And if it's said in a malevolent way, they're kind of expecting you to take sides. And taking sides, obviously, is when all the problems start, because you're now putting what you hear from them, which it might not be the full story either. Like, some people miss parts so that they sound better. You're taking what they say and you're turning it into what you want it to be, and then they're taking directly from what you're saying and then showing that towards the other person.
Yeah.
So that's why I've really struggled with that in the past, because I feel like a lot of my relationships, maybe that's why it's a lot of my friendships as well, actually. And I feel like that's why you get that splitting edge where it just goes right down the middle and you can't fix it, because so many perspectives from other places have been saying these things, have been degrading you behind your back, not saying things, not finding out the full story.
It's like, that can put you off as well. Like, you can be stuck in no man's land when you hear all these things. Like, you can have, like, an issue with somebody, and then somebody goes away and they're like, oh, he said, they've not said it, or they've said something along the lines, and it's just been completely taken the wrong way, and then they come tell you, and then you end up causing an issue with them even more.
No.
It's like, just be careful who you're saying stuff to, or who you're telling stuff to, and, like, I don't even know anymore. Like, it's just, you're better off, if you've got an issue with something, like, fix it with them.
Talk it through.
Yeah, like,
Words are simple.
just don't get other people involved that don't need involved.
Yeah.
That's about it, really.
I think the biggest thing I'm trying to get at here is, especially relationships. I think, like you said, it's all good and said, people knowing about a relationship, but
Yeah.
there's absolutely no need for them to know anything about your relationship, kind of thing. Like, yeah, they can know, like, how long you've been together, like, how yous are getting on as, like, an actual couple and stuff, whatever, but when it comes to problems, it comes to things that yous talk about behind the scenes,
Yeah.
it should always be left unsaid to anyone else, I think.
Yeah.
And it's
100%.
only because it protects your relationship more than anything like that. Because there's people that can manipulate you into thinking differently, and that's just how the world is.
The last thing you want is somebody, like, hating your relationship. So, like, one of your pals hating your relationship because they think of someone the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know that person. Like, they could have done something wrong, but
Yeah.
they could genuinely be one of the nicest people you've ever met in your life. It's a mistake. It happens.
Yeah.
Folk mess up all the time.
People have
But-
got like their past traumas as well that you don't know about. So
Yeah, exactly.
you've got to really tread carefully in these things, and that's actually why I don't get involved with anybody's relationship or even friendships now. I just like you fix it between you. I'll listen, but I'm not saying anything about it, because if you start saying stuff about it, even if you're not meaning to kind of change their perspective, it can.
Yeah,
Because people just take
100%.
everyone's words and that's it. So I try and I don't even try. I just do get away from all that shit now, because
it's the best way to do it. It's just there's no point in getting involved, but you don't need to be involved.
I think a lot of people probably that get involved with that kind of stuff as well are definitely living in maybe a much more immature friend group, or immature just a lifestyle in general, to be fair. Because the reason I brought it up is because I remember back when I was really heavily into the drugs and drinking and all that, I was probably that person. Not all the time, but in a lot of cases I was that person.
Yeah.
I'd be the person that'd come to it, I'd say what I had to say, and then that would go back and then spiral down the line to them.
Yeah.
And I also still feel like a lot of people do fall into that place, and it's shit, because they shouldn't. It's not something that you should digress to ever, because why feel the need to degrade someone else's lifestyle
Yeah.
or friendships or relationships, or it doesn't even matter. Honestly,
Sometimes it's jealousy. Like, you've not got what they've got.
yeah,
You want what they've got, but you can't have it.
yeah,
It's as simple as that. It's like,
and get over it.
yeah, grow up. What a shame.
Oh man, it's good to get back on the mic and just talk shit, man.
Chat shit about
I
it.
actually love it. Oh. I think what I'm gonna do though is we can talk again after, but I like to split this up, and I think this is the way I'm gonna split it up now. I want to hear something that you want to say to the audience. I want to hear. Remember when I asked you if you got a quote or a fucking
Chase your dreams. I got ripped thinking for that for weeks.
Fair enough, man. Well,
I don't care.
you got your headspace on much better this time, and there was less anxiety here this time. It's fucking chill as fuck. Who cares?
Apart from being out there, that was fucking cool.
Aye, that was chill.
That was
Eh.
chill, eh?
Eh.
Woofed.
Nah. So let's go back to that question. I'm gonna keep this question for every Cold Ones, guys. This is probably one of the things that aren't gonna change from every single Cold Ones, because I think this is really good to kind of see the mindset that person is in, and see how well you can kind of show who you are to the audience.
Yeah.
So, do you have something, like a piece of advice or something, that you would say to the audience that might actually help them, or maybe make them understand life, or anything just a little bit better?
Probably go with like how we were talking about the football and stuff. Like, it's gonna come along like sort of the same as the last one, but it's like just don't stop trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the harder you work, the more likely you are to concede.
Yeah.
Concede? Succeed.
Like
What?
the way
You're more likely to concede if you try.
yeah, you're
not.
more likely to fail if you try.
Aye,
Bengry,
no.
...
Yeah, aye. Quote of the month.
Aye, I know, man. Fuck
Nah.
it.
You're more likely to be successful with hard work. Like, with me with football, you just keep trying every week. Don't give up. 'Cause as soon as you give up, you're going to get nowhere.
Yeah.
It's just going to go back down to where you started, and then you're going to want to give up. The harder you work, the easier things become.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, yeah, it's a good piece of advice. The thing is, like, we've spoke about it a lot, obviously, but if you don't show up, you're actually never gonna get anywhere anyway. You know what I mean? It's like the first boundary is just showing up, regardless on how it goes. You could be the worst at something, and if you show up enough, you could become the best.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best of the best, unless you're like properly involved with it all.
Yeah.
Because like there's calibers when it comes to sports, especially. Like you need to do, in a lot of cases that no one really thinks this, when you do sports, actually researching the best people is the best way of doing it as well. Obviously, showing up is going to get you to where you want to be, but if you want to be the best of the best, you got to dig deep, because these people have done it right, and a lot of people don't think that research comes big into sports, because sports is like a physical thing, but mental is just as important.
Yeah.
And obviously learning all these techniques and stuff. Football's not as easy as just kicking a ball.
No, it's not.
And in a lot of cases, people probably, again, think this, because if you're not properly kind of engrossed in the whole football side of things, you don't understand rules, you don't understand footwork, there's so many things. And as someone that does Muay Thai now, and I never really got football that often, but someone that does Muay Thai, I understand footwork like nobody else, and it's tough. The coordination that goes through your head, the understanding of rules, understanding of space and stuff like that. Not stuff I work in Muay Thai. It's not like I'm looking for space, right, I'm going over there. That's the ring space. I'm just going to run over there and fucking run away from my opponent. That's not the same. But for football, I understand that, like, pulling out the defenders to make the space to get in behind and making the space, getting away from your defender to then take the header or whatever else. I'm not going to start talking like I know what I'm talking about.
Knowing all about your first touch and, like, what area you're in and the situation you're in with, like, two players around you or whatever, what your first touch is going to be, how you're going to get out of it, like, just these things. Like, I'm not usually a defender, I'm usually a winger, but I'm playing wing back now because we're playing like 3 at the back with them. It's really stupid, but it's working. But I'm playing at wing back. I've played there before, so I've already got the understanding of how to play there, and because my dad was my coach at the team that I played for when we done that, it was a lot easier.
Yeah.
So he kind of guided me through how I'm meant to go, like where I'm meant to be, whether if there's a player in front of me, a player behind me, step back onto the player behind me, and if they win it, you're there to win the next one anyway.
Aye.
But it's just like all about knowing your surroundings in football is one of the biggest ones.
Split second decisions as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
whether to play a pass first time or take 2 touches, or it's just all about knowing your surroundings. Just if you figure yourself out, don't rush. The minute you try and rush something, you see the ball coming towards you, you see somebody running towards you, and you shit yourself, you're gonna mess up.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get tackled, take the tackle. Then it could. If you pull out of that, you're gonna get hurt more. Always been told that in my life. Never ever shit out of a tackle because you'll get more injured than actually getting hit by it.
Aye.
Going hard. Take it.
Aye. See what happens.
Aye.
And that's what it should be. You know what I mean? It's the same in Muay Thai. If you're getting, this is actually one of the hardest things that, and probably the longest thing it took me to get used to. It's so like in Muay Thai you get your like distance kicking, so like teeping. So that's like your push kick. You're trying to push it through to get distance between somebody. And my coach said to me, like, I'm very, very good for pulling my arms in to like defend it. He says, just let it happen. So you have to get used to just letting someone shove their whole fucking foot through your chest.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, it's not a damaging move as such. It can hurt, but it's not like getting kicked because it's not got as much power and stuff behind it. It's like a spear going through your stomach. It's like getting kneed as well. They're all kind of the same thing. But learning to be able to stop following instinct and defending that, because it then allows me to open up and do better things from it, was so difficult. Yeah. Being able to get rid of the human instinct or the human movement and mechanics of already trying to defend that, so difficult. It's the same with getting punched in the face. It's hard to understand or not like proper blinking and like fucking trying to walk away from it and dodging and running away. And that took time. Like, I've been doing Muay Thai like properly full time now for over a year, and I will be getting a fight soon. And that's, I think the last time we sat down I was saying I wanted to fight, but now I'm like inches away from it. And it's good to feel the difference from the last time we even spoke, or the last time I spoke to anyone about it, to now. And actually in some ways that 2 months of like no social media and stuff and kind of focusing on myself. Obviously I did say that my Muay Thai fell for a bit, but that wasn't the whole 2 months. It fell for like a couple of weeks, and then I got back on the bandwagon. And just that month and a bit of me being there consistently, really focusing, it was enough for me to now realise the differences I've made, and I feel like I can conquer. And that's different. Like, back then I was a bit nervous, a bit anxious about it. Like, it takes so long and so much repetition to get used to these things, and that's just what it is in life, you know what I mean? It takes trial and error getting football right. Yeah. It takes trial and error understanding how to pull the defenders out to then make space for your team. And it's all these things in sports that really... Sports isn't just one thing. Sports is a lot of things all in one, and that's not a second problem. That's crazy. It's alright. To be fair, I'll cut that bit out.
You still been copyright this time.
Aye, I know. To be fair, I was wanting to add the little reaction bit, but I just think it's probably safer not to have it in it consistently. Yeah. If I plan for it, aye, because then I can look into it and that. Aye. But the last time I was just focusing too much on just getting it out there and having it there. There's no need. It is cool that I can add that all part of my podcast. You hear it all through. You can all see it and stuff, but it's just not needed. I think. But I think what we're gonna do here is we're gonna close off Cold Wan's first episode revival. How have you had today? How you felt like it's been?
Yeah, it's an absolute banger.
It always is, mate. It's good to sit down and actually enjoy just chatting to somebody.
Good to be back, And I'm obviously glad to be the first one back on it.
It's an honour, man. I'm happy you were the first one, because the comfortability I feel right now is unbelievable.
So it's always good because you've got somebody that you know on as well, you know what I mean? So rather than having like somebody that's not been on it, and they're going to be a bit more like anxious as well. Like, I've done it, I know what to expect.
Yeah.
It makes it easier for you as well. So.
Yeah. I mean, the first time I would say, it wasn't even ropey though, but it was like finding our feet. Kind of, for you especially, like trying to just understand that, just be yourself in front of a camera.
It was like an hour and a half or whatever. Maybe the first 25 minutes it was like, right. And then after that it was just kind of like, it was alright.
Yeah.
You
just forget.
Yeah, you just forget that the camera's even there.
And that's the beauty of something like this, where you just sit down and listen to folk. But, yeah. What I've got to offer you, mate, is a wee handshake. It's been a fucking honour, as always. And for you lot, Cold Wans next Sunday. No, sorry. I'm changing Cold Wans to every 2 to 3 weeks, just because when I was doing it weekly, the quality was falling, I was struggling. It's a lot. So, every 3 odd weeks, you're going to see one of these episodes. Obviously, it'll be all over my social media handles. You'll know about these things. Ben's links will be there. He doesn't really use social media as such, but they'll still be there for you to go and catch up with Ben whenever you like. And apart from that, thank you so much for coming on, Ben.
Not an issue, not a problem, mate. You're
not
welcome.
An issue, aye?
Not an issue.
Oh, sorry. Aye, and yeah, I'll see you next time for another fucking brutal cold plunge with who could be the next guest. I guess you'll find out next time. See you later, guys.